refractive index.
Sir, repeat. Ekda repeat kar.
Yes. A soap film having refractive index 1.33.
What, sir?
A soap film having refractive index 1.33 and thickness this thickness कितनी है 5 into 10 raised to power minus 5 centimeter 5 into 10 raised to power minus 5 centimeter is view at an angle of 35 degree is view at an angle of 35 degree to the normal find the wavelength of light in the visible spectrum which will be absent from the reflected light absent बोला है absent means dark.
Please repeat again.
Okay, find the wavelength of light in the visible spectrum which will be absent from the reflected light
From the
reflected light. Read this problem. यहाँ पे क्या क्या दिया है
thickness दिली है, refractive index.
You write down in your notebook what is given here and what is asked.
Okay.
You can refer this example. For solving.
सेंटीमीटर मध्ये राहू दिलं तरी चालेल ना की मीटर मध्ये कन्वर्ट करावं लागेल
मीटर मध्ये सेंटीमीटर मध्ये पण चालेल मग ते तुम्हाला नंतर मीटर मध्ये कन्वर्ट करावं लागेल म्हणजे अँगस्ट्रॉम मध्ये करायचं शेवटी तुम्हाला थिकनेस मध्ये चेंज करून घ्यावं लागेल थिकनेस तुम्हाला सेंटीमीटर मध्ये कन्वर्ट करावं लागेल So in this example, what is asked, what is given? Refractive index is given to all of you. That is, refractive index mu is equal to 1.333, and thickness small t is given to you. Angle of incidence is 35 degree. Find the wavelength lambda. Here visible spectrum is absent. It means dark. So you need to take the condition of dark fringe.
तर 10.9 into 10 raised to minus 7.
नहीं, for
What's the
n
difference?
नहीं, here you have to take n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. In this example, value of n, small n is 1, 2, 3, 4. First of all, you need to find out the value of small r. स्मॉल आर की वैल्यू आपको फाइंड करनी पड़ेगी. कैसे करेंगे? बाय द स्नेल्स लॉ. रिफ्रैक्टिव इंडेक्स म्यू इज इक्वल टू साइन आई अपॉन साइन आर. Refractive index is equal to sin I upon sin r. So by that equation you will get the value of small r. Okay, and put that value in the cos of r. What is the equation for this? So this is the equation you need to take because this is the darkness is happened. It means visible spectrum which will have absent from the reflected light. And your darkness की condition है. In that destructive interference, what is the condition for the destructive interference? 2 mu t cos of r is equal to 2n minus 1 into lambda by 2. And value of n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. तो यहाँ पे आपको cos of r नहीं दिया है. वैल्यू r की वैल्यू आपको फाइंड आउट करनी पड़ेगी. What is the answer? Wavelength. Same example like this one. स्मॉल r की वैल्यू कितनी आई सबकी? By the Snell's law,
3/7.
r की
3/7.
डिग्री कितना डिग्री है?
30.
20.
R 35 डिग्री दिया है या नहीं?
नहीं, इंसिडेंट है वो, एंगल ऑफ इंसिडेंट नॉर्मल
एंगल ऑफ इंसिडेंट है 35 एंगल ऑफ इंसिडेंट.
हाँ, since light is incident normally, it means normal incident होता है ना वो एंगल ऑफ इंसिडेंस है. तो रिफ्रैक्शन एंगल आपको दिया नहीं है, वो आपको फाइंड आउट करना है. तो कितना आता है रिफ्रैक्शन विद द स्नेल्स लॉ?
तो 25 है क्या आर?
यस, 25.55 डिग्री. तो वैल्यू ऑफ स्मॉल आर इज 25.55 डिग्री. आता है किसी का आंसर ये?
यस सर.
Okay, now take that r in this equation. Put the value of r in cos of as a cos of r and solve करो. For value of n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4.
सर 25 डिग्री आलं सर.
हाँ, 25 डिग्री बरोबर आहे. तुम्हाला काय विचारलंय? What you had asked? Find the wavelength of light in the visible spectrum. So you had asked the value of lambda.
सर मीटर मध्ये ठेवू का एंगस्ट्रॉम मध्ये घेऊ थिकनेसला?
एंगस्ट्रॉम मध्ये कन्वर्ट करावं लागतं. जर कधी सेंटीमीटरने तुम्ही फाइंड आउट केला असेल आन्सर तर यू नीड टू कन्वर्ट इट इनटू एंगस्ट्रॉम. 10 raised to power minus 10 meter means angstrom. Okay, 10 raised to power minus 10 means angstrom. So you need to convert it into angstrom. Now, what is the first answer? N is equal to 1. If I had taken n is equal to 1, what is your answer? What is the wavelength lambda is equal to? ये यहाँ पे जाएगा. सॉल्व नहीं हो रहा है.
सर एक मिनिट सर फक्त एक मिनिट.
Okay.
सर 5000 एमस्ट्रॉंग येईल ना?
If n is equal to 1, what is the answer?
एक मिनिट सर. एमस्ट्रॉंग
What is mu here? 2. What is mu given to all of
5 into 10 raised to minus 10 Armstrong, no?
नाही.
Sorry, T equals.
यांची इथे 2 दिले आहे. What is refractive index? 1.33. Okay. Multiply by what is the wavelength? What is the thickness?
11.97 Ali.
No.
10 raised to minus 10.
नहीं.
सर 24.09 into 10 raised to 3.
24 into 24
24 into 24.09 into 10 raised to 3.
3.
हाँ.
It means 24,000.
Yes sir.
Yes, your answer is correct. It is in angstrom. Okay.
Yes sir, Armstrong मध्ये.
angstrom मध्ये 24,000 is the correct answer. बाकी कोणाचा आला आहे आन्सर?
सर cos r ची व्हॅल्यू 0.906 घेतली
हा.
आणि 5000 एमस्ट्रॉंग घेतली थिकनेस.
इथे काय येईल? इथं cos of 25. Cos of
25.
25.
त्याची व्हॅल्यू 0.906.
25.55. Okay. Is equal to 2n minus 1 into
लॅम्डा बाय 2 इकडे येऊन लागेल सर. 2n minus 1 1 ची n ची व्हॅल्यू 1 ठेवली तर
2n minus 1 इकडे खाली येणार. And this is your equation for the wavelength lambda. Okay. So you need to multiply this, taking the cos of 25.5 and multiply this all terms, divided by 2n minus 1. If n is equal to 1, then if n is equal to 1, it means 2 multiplied by means 2. 2 minus 1 means 1. Okay. So your final answer is 24,000 angstrom.
सर n equal to 2 घेतला का 8000 एमस्ट्रॉंग येते.
Yes, 8,000. Second is 8,000. Then n is equal to 3. Then what is the answer? If you take n is equal to 3, then what is the answer of all this calculation?
एक मिनिट सर. 3
बाकी मुलं आन्सर देत नाही मला.
4800 एमस्ट्रॉंग.
Yes, correct. Now n is equal to 4. Take the
Sir,
value.
जर वरचं कॅल्क्युलेशन केलं ना 2 into 1.33 ते पूर्णच सर 11.99 असं येतंय सर.
तू कॉस्टची व्हॅल्यू काय घेतली? कॉस्ट 25 ची.
कॉस्ट 25 ते का 0.906 समथिंग पूर्ण.
हा तेच आहे, तीच घ्यायची आहे आणि थिकनेस घेताना 5000 घ्यायची बस, पुढे काहीच नाही घ्यायचं. 5000 ओनली 5000 घ्यायचं.
5000.
हो 5000 घ्यायचं फक्त एमस्ट्रॉंग.
पण ते झिरोचा काही इश्यू नाही, पण तरी 11.99 असं येते ना. 1 मिनिट मी ट्राय करते.
तर न्यूमरेटरला 2 च्या ऐवजी 4 येईल नाही, कारण λ/2 होता ना इकडं.
तो सरांनी तो बाय मिस्टेक राईट नाही केला. न्यूमरेटरला तिथं 4 येतो.
What is the last answer? If
सर
any-
न्यूमरेटरला 4
4 आला नाही, मग आन्सर येते 24.
सर तिथे 2 च्या ऐवजी 4 करून द्या न्यूमरेटरला, कन्फ्युजन होतंय.
Okay, येते.
वर λ/2 चा 2 इकडे येतो ना.
हा जर 4 ने केलं आणि जर 2 ने मल्टिप्लाय केलं तर 11,900 तसं येतंय.
हा मग त्याला 2 ने अजून मल्टिप्लाय कर, तुझा आन्सर येऊन लागेल.
हे 2
हा
इथे
सर
2
तिथे 4 into हा
इथे
4
4
into
सरांनी तिथे थोडं लक्ष हो बरोबर.
What
सर
is the last
सेकंडचा आन्सर काय आला?
24,000 एमस्ट्रॉंग आले.
नाही, लास्ट वन if n is equal
4
to 4.
n equal to 1.
सेकंडचा विचारतो.
सेकंड
ते कधी केले तू? ते कधी का?
फर्स्ट 24,000, सेकंड 8,000 आणि थर्ड 4,800.
आणि 4 if n is equal to 4 then
आवली
पाऊलिया.
Which of
सर
your
3,400.
some background noise is coming, so who is
सर
Which of your
3,400 एमस्ट्रॉंग.
yes 3,428 angstrom. Okay, this example is completed. So yesterday we are discussing about the wedge shape thin films. So what is wedge shape? In the wedge shape thin films I had taken the 2 glass plate. I had taken the 2 glass plate. Now we will see again this how this wedge shape derivative of this wedge shape thin film. Yesterday I had discussed this all of you, but today we will take again. Save झालेलं आहे. So this is the how the fringes that we are getting is showing here. So this is the wedge shape thin film. It means I had taken this glass plate, that is A and C. This is the one glass plate I had taken. Then this is the another glass plate, and there is some gap. So I had kept this wire here, so that we are getting the gap between 2 glass plates. If you see the so this yellow color is the wire between the 2 glass plates. So there is a film is formed between the air film is there. So there is a air film between these 2 glass plates. If you saw from normally from the top side to this glass plate, then you will find that interference of light taking place. तो यहाँ पे क्या होता है, इंटरफेरेंस ऑफ लाइट इज टेकिंग प्लेस. Light is coming from this side. It is incident at point D. Then the light is get transmitted and it reaches to point E. From point E again, some part of partially light is reflected. Some part of light is get transmitted from point E. And when light comes on point E, again it get refracted. And when you see from the top with this spectroscope, then you will get the such kind of fringes. So this is the spectroscope from which we are seeing the different kind of fringes. So there is you will see that black color fringe, then white, black, white, black, white. Such kind of fringes are formed due to interference of light in the wave-shaped thin film. Okay, the medium is here air, but you can take any other medium such as water or oil. So in that case, only the refractive index of the medium is change, but you will get such kind of fringes. Okay. Another important point is that in the wave-shaped thin film is that this value of thickness is going on changing from point to point. At point A, it is 0. The value of the thickness value is thickness value is 0 here. The value of thickness is 0 at point A. If you move from this point A to point B, then you will find that thickness of the film is changing because there is some gap because of some object such as wire placed between the two glass plate, due to which what is happening, when light enter in the glass plate, what happens, there is again transmission of light happens and the velocity of light is get changed. When light is entering from rarer medium to denser medium, velocity of light is decreases, due to which when light reaches at point E, what is happen? There is also some partially reflection and transmission of light happens. When light comes at point F, again light is get refracted. So another important point is that when light is coming out of F, both the light are not parallel. There is divergence of light happens. So whatever light rays that is reflected from point E, that is the ray. So there are two rays are coming from the wave-shaped thin film. Suppose this is the light get incident. Sorry. So this is your wave-shaped thin film. So here angle is very small, that is alpha is very small here. When light is incident, some part of light is get reflected and some part of light is get transmitted. Partially transmission happens. So when the light rays comes at this point C, this is your point A. When light rays came at point C, then what happens? There is diffraction of light happens and also reflection of light happens. So some part of light is get reflected. Then it reaches at point B. At point B also there is some part of transmission happens or reflection happens and some part of light is get reflected. So we are getting two rays from the wave-shaped thin films, that is R1 and R2. R1 and R2, these two rays are coming from these wave-shaped thin films. But in case of thin films, or in our earlier derivative, in case of thin films, the light rays R1 and R2 are parallel. Okay. In case of thin films, all the R1 and R2 are parallel. This is R2 and this is your R1. So both the light rays are parallel in case of thin films, but here both the light rays are not parallel. So there is divergence of light happens in case of wedge-shaped thin films of the ray R2. R2 क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पे? Diverge हो रहा है. Because why this happen? Because the thickness is changing here. In case of wedge-shaped thin films, the thickness is changing, so that's why R2 is get not parallel with the R1. This is a very important point in this wedge-shaped thin films. So how much angles this is by which light is get reflected from point C. यहाँ पे जो angle होता है that is theta plus alpha. Theta plus alpha is the angle made by the ray AC at point C. Okay. So this is another important point. So what is the angle of reflection at point C is theta plus alpha. So such a kind of fringes you are getting if you see from top in case of wedge-shaped thin film. So this is the formation of these fringes. Such a kind of pattern you will see in case of wedge-shaped thin film. So the angle here, angle is in this figure instead of alpha here they have taken the theta plus r plus theta. R is the angle of refraction plus theta they are taken. So yesterday we had seen this interference of wedge-shaped thin films. In wedge-shaped thin films is bounded by two plane surfaces. Okay. In wedge-shaped thin films, film is bounded by two plane surfaces inclined at angle alpha. Two plane surfaces means plane surfaces of the glass plate, upper and lower. Okay. Angle कितना है दोनों में? Alpha है. The thickness T varies from 0 to maximum. Thickness is changing from this point to this point. Another important thing happens here is that whatever fringes that you are getting at point A, it means starting fringe is black. So it is black color fringe. Then you will get the white color fringe, then black color, then white color, black color, white color. So such a kind of pattern is there. Okay. So in case of wedge-shaped film, from the starting point is you are getting always the black dark line. Okay. There is destructive interference happens. So in the exam you will ask the problems. Find this is your third dark band. So third, fourth, 5. So n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in the problem you will ask find the third number of band from the wedge-shaped thin films, or fourth number or 5 number. So such a kind of problems asked in the exam. Okay. Now we will see this one. When light AB is incident on the film, what happens? There is change in the path happens. So there is change in path difference between the ray R1 and R2. How much that path difference is between the two rays? So this is the ray R1 coming from this point B, and R2 is ray coming from the point C and D. Okay. So there is some path difference between the R1 and R2. So it is given by R2 minus R1. R2 minus R1 gives you path difference. So it is given by delta. Delta is equal to path difference between the two rays. The time taken by ray R2 in the film is that is mu into DC plus CD. Take the normal from point D on this BE. So I got the point capital G. If I taken the normal from point D on this ray R1, then I got the point G here. So the path difference between two rays, BE and DF, it means BE and DF. So what is the path difference? R2 minus R1 is equal to this one. Okay. Mu is what? Mu is the refractive index of the film. So there is a film of air. Okay. In between two glass plates, there is film of air. So that is the refractive index of the air. Now the path difference is equal to how much? 2 mu t into cos of r plus alpha. In case of thin films, what is the path difference? यहाँ पे आपका cos of r था. Okay. In case of thin films, path difference is equal to 2 mu t cos of r only. But in case of wedge-shaped thin films, the path difference is 2 mu t cos of r plus alpha. R plus alpha ये, this is the angle. So angle here, angle is alpha, r plus alpha. It means angle of refraction plus angle between the two glass plate, that is alpha. Okay, so I had taken that one. I had considered both the angles, refraction angles as well as angle between the two glass plate. So I had taken that one here. And for constructive interference, constructive means getting the white line. Okay, I am getting dark color fringes, then white color, then again I am getting dark color, then white color. So for getting the constructive interference, constructive means white color fringe. Okay, for getting the white color fringe, the condition is delta path difference is equal to n lambda. Okay, that means even multiples. Okay, so even multiples of lambda. Put that value of path difference here, put this delta value in this equation, then I am getting this equation. Value of lambda by 2 added or subtracted. Either you can take addition भी हो सकती है और subtraction भी हो सकता है. Then what equation I am getting? If you take this lambda by 2 on the right hand side, then I am getting this equation. Okay, 2 mu t cos of r plus alpha is equal to 2n plus n minus 1 into lambda by 2. For destructive interference, what is the equation? Delta is equal to odd multiples. This is even multiples, this is odd multiples. Put the value here, n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. In this equation, put the value n is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. In this equation, you need to put the value of n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. It means you will get the odd multiples. Okay. Then I got this. Put the value of delta here. Put the value of delta in equation number, this path difference. Then I got this equation. Okay. If lambda by 2 comes, again you have to add the lambda by 2 addition or subtraction. Then I got this equation 2 mu t into cos of r plus alpha is equal to n lambda. If you solve this one, okay. Nature of interference of pattern. So मैंने आपको बोला है such kind of pattern we are getting. It means dark white, dark white. So how in mathematically we are writing it like this. So there is some and also we have to find how much is the distance between two lines. ये भी आप इस expression से आपको find कर सकते हैं. Okay. So if the film is illuminated by a parallel beam of monochromatic light, the angle of incidence and angle of refraction small r will be constant. The path difference depends on the thickness of the films. I told you what is the path difference between R1 and R2. What is the difference between these two rays? It also depends on the thickness. Okay. Locus of points of constant thickness are straight lines. मैंने आपको बताया था all the you will get the such kind of patterns when you observe from the top. So from top with with this spectroscope you are observing dark and bright fringes. Okay. So locus of points of constant thickness are straight lines parallel to the edge of the wedge-shaped films. So this is the edge of the wedge-shaped films. So all these lines are parallel to with this. Okay. So all the lines are parallel to the point A, and distance of line is given by xn. Xn is the distance of light of this band, that is black or white. So it is at a distance xn from the edge of the wedge shaped film, and the thickness of this line is Tn. Then I had considered another line. If suppose I had, this is your black line, this is your white line, so I had taken another line. I had taken, so the fringe, the distance of this fringe from the edge is x of n plus 1, that is the next one, and thickness of this wedge shape, thickness of this white line is T of n plus 1. Okay. Now the fringe width. How much is the width of this fringe? Okay. It is the distance between the two consecutive bright or dark fringes. So whatever distance between two consecutive means, suppose this is a black fringe, this is white fringe, this is black fringe, and this is white fringe. So distance between this one, two consecutive means, if I consider this is black and this is white, then I had considered distance between two black lines. Okay, or distance between two white lines. So it is given by, if the n bright fringe is formed at a distance xn from the edge. So this is the bright fringe I got here at a distance xn from the edge of the wedge shaped film, where thickness is, how much is the thickness? Uska thickness kitna hai? It is given by the equation Tn is equal to xn into tan of alpha. Or you can say, what is tan alpha? Tan alpha क्या होता है? Tan of alpha. Tan means this opposite line divided by closed line. Okay. So
opposite upon adjacent.
Yes, opposite upon
adjacent.
adjacent. तो कितना है? T of n plus 1
upon xn plus 1.
Yes, or xn. Okay. So Tn divided by xn. So you can write T of n plus 1 is equal to x of n plus 1 divided into tan of alpha. So this is my equation number 4 in case of n plus 1 bright fringe. In case of nth bright fringe, the equation I got, that Tn is equal to xn into tan of alpha. Okay. For normal incidence means, suppose this is the film, light is coming normally, there is no any angle here, the angle is absent, then I is equal to 0 here. If I is equal to 0, then R is also 0. Okay, so R depends on I. The angle R always depends on the angle of incidence. So angle of reflection depends on the angle of incidence. Since I is 0, then R is also 0. Okay. For the nth bright fringe, the condition is, for the nth bright fringe, the condition is, यहाँ पे जो है 2 mu into Tn cos of alpha, ये करेक्शन करना है. 2 mu into Tn cos of alpha is equal to 2n minus 1 into lambda by 2. So this is the condition for the brightness. Okay. Put the value of this equation number 4 in this equation, then what I will get? 2 mu n into xn into tan of alpha into cos of alpha. But what is tan of alpha? Sin upon cos. Cos will get cancelled out. So I will get the only sin. Okay. So the final answer of the by solving this equation is 2 mu n into xn into sin alpha is equal to 2n minus 1 into lambda by 2. Okay. This is my equation number 6. For the n plus 1 bright fringe. अभी ये जो थी that is xn bright fringe, the fringe at a distance xn from the this point. For the n plus 1 bright fringe, my equation is 2 times mu into t of n plus 1 cos of alpha. तो यहाँ पे सिर्फ t की वैल्यू चेंज हुई है. In earlier case it is tn. Right now I had taken the t of n plus 1 into cos of alpha. And my equation is 2 into n plus 1 minus 1 into lambda by 2. Okay. After solving this, put the value of tn here. Put this value, equation number 5. Put the value of this equation number 5 in this equation. Then what I will get? This one. Okay. So this is my 2 mu t into tan of n plus 1 into cos of alpha is equal to 2n plus 1 into lambda by 2. Okay. If you multiply, if you solve this one, you will get this answer. So substituting, subtract t of n plus 1 from equation number 5. Equation number 5 से आप subtraction करोगे तो नहीं, substitute the value of t of n plus 1 from equation number 5. Put the value of equation number 5 in this equation, then what I will get? 2 mu into x of n plus 1 into tan of alpha is into cos of alpha. Tan of alpha is equal to sin upon cos. So at the end I will get this equation. That is equation number 7. Subtract equation 6 from 7. Subtract equation number 6, that is this one, from the 7. Then what I will get? 2 mu into x of n plus 1. Since ये क्यों subtract करना है हमें? Because we need to find the distance between two fringes. We need to find the distance between two bright fringes or dark fringes. So that's why we are subtracting. So 2 mu into x of n plus 1 minus xn into sin of alpha. This is your right hand side. After solving this, you will get this value as a lambda. So the final answer of this 2 mu into x of n plus 1 minus xn is into sin of alpha is equal to lambda. The fringe width is given by, the distance between two fringes is given by beta is equal to x of n plus 1 minus xn. I had given the fringe width as a beta. So whatever distance between two fringes, I had taken it as a beta. Okay. Then what equation I will get? 2 mu into beta into sin of alpha is equal to lambda. So the beta is equal to lambda upon 2 mu sin of alpha. Okay. So by this I got the value of beta. Beta means distance between two fringes. Either two bright fringes or either dark fringes. So that is given by beta. Okay. So the final answer I got by solving this equation is beta is equal to lambda upon 2 mu into alpha. Okay. For air film, what is the refractive index? For air film,
1.
the refractive index is 1. So the value of beta in case of air film is lambda upon 2 alpha. So this is the equation I got. This is the final equation. So all the fringes will be of equal width. Okay. तो ये जो width होता है सब fringes का equal होता है. The distance between both the bright fringes and distance between both the dark fringes are equal. तो यहाँ तक समझ में आ गया सबको? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you have to solve this derivative in at home and give it as an assignment to me. submit this as an assignment to me in your teams. यहाँ पे सबको ये एक्सप्रेशन जो है नोटबुक पे लिख के यहाँ पे मुझे भेजना है. समझ में आ गया?
कौन सा सर?
हेलो.
सर कोणता आलं?
ओके.
येस सर.
सर अपलोड करून द्या एकदा, मग आम्ही ते असाइनमेंट मधनं करून घेऊ.
ऑलरेडी केलं ना काल.
हो ते झालं सर.
मी ऑलरेडी केलेलं आहे कालच, पण तुम्ही बघितलं नसेल. Okay, you can leave for your next class. Hello.
थँक्यू सर.
Thank you, sir.
थँक्यू.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Bye, sir. Have a nice day.